I'm Tom Boley, Chief Market Strategist here at EarningsBeats. Another stock I want to show you. This is a company that'll be reporting on Friday, but it was just under 5 billion. I happened to see it, but I don't have it on my spreadsheet because it was under 5 billion. But I want you to look at the candle that printed today, and I'll shorten this chart so that we can see it a little bit better here. That's a hammer. Look at this tail coming down below all of these lows over here. We had a much lower intraday move, and then we come back up and we rally and actually engulf that prior day's candle off this downtrend. I think FLR could make a run into its earnings, and look at it relative to its peers. It's been going up, big reversal on support. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of days of strength and then a gap up with earnings on Friday. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, this chart tells me a little bit of a story, and I like the story. I think it's a bullish story. Is it a guaranteed story? No. I try to emphasize that because I don't want anyone to go all in saying, well, Tom guarantees it. Tom doesn't guarantee anything, as you all should know by now. I give you my rationale. You know, I've seen a lot in the market over the last 40 years. And so I like to point things out when I see what I have seen in the past. But that false breakdown recovery tells me that the odds are in my favor. It's not a guarantee, but I do feel like the odds. I did not buy it because I didn't see it until I was doing some of this and the market had already closed. This was actually the last chart I just looked at on Friday, right before this webinar started. If I had seen this at 350, I would have bought the stock at the close. But, you know, depending, maybe tomorrow it'll be down a little bit in intraday. Maybe we go back down to around 33, 33.20, something like that. Might be an opportunity there. And I may be in it tomorrow. I do have it on notes to look for tomorrow morning. Now, if the relative strength line's going up and this line is really going down, sometimes I might include it. Sometimes I might not. It's just kind of a judgment call. You know, I'm looking at this, and this to go from, 0.26 right here to almost 0.38 in 3 months. That's a 50% rise in relative strength. That's big. If this was actually only like a 10% move, like maybe from 335 to or 0.335 or 0, let me start this again, 0.35 to 0.38. Let's say we were just here and we just went up a little bit, and I see the group is really weak, I probably would have ignored this one. But this is clobbering. I mean, this is a group that has not been performing well. And yet the stock is still holding on to a low from 2 or 3 months ago. Let me show you the group. So DJUSHV. So in the heavy construction group, look at what the group has been doing. And look at what the AD line has been doing. I mean, this is a really bad group. And within this group, you have FLR, which has been going sideways. That's why you're seeing such massive relative strength. So relative strength, if you're going up by a lot, even in bad groups, you can find interesting stocks that you could consider on the long side. But I think the market starts to go and we start to see a little bit of movement back to the upside in heavy construction. Here's one of your leaders. I would expect to see a big move back to the upside. We'll see. All right. Let me go through and pull up maybe 2 or 3 of these charts that I really like going into earnings, or maybe 2 going up that I like and then 2 going down. How about we do that? So let me show you first Eli Lilly. So, and I'm going to stretch this back out. Let's do this a full year. So you can see Lilly's been going up. Look at the relative strength versus the pharmas. Pharmas have been okay. You know, last few months kind of just going along for the ride with the S&P. But this stock is clearly outperforming. We've gone from 0.4 to 0.7. That's almost a doubling. of relative strength. That's pretty solid. AD line just recently set a new high. I believe Eli Lilly is going to post a big number. Again, does that mean that we're going to skyrocket? No. We might even pull back. We might get an opportunity to get back in somewhere between 500 and 525. But if we have a beat and this stock pulls back to these support levels, there's a good chance I'm going to own it. So I really like Eli Lilly. Give you one other one from that list. I'm going to give you a financial company because financials like the month of November. They like the fourth quarter generally. So let's take a look at CBOE. They report on Friday morning. Lilly reports tomorrow morning, by the way. CBOE, beautiful move up. I mean, again, you're talking about a market that's been getting killed the last 3 months. And CBOE is acting as if there's nothing wrong at all with this market. AD line strong, price action strong, relative strength strong. A group, kind of where we were 3 or 4 months ago. So kind of flat here for the last several months. But here's a definite relative leader. And going into the seasonal period, let's just see what this looks like on a seasonal period, CBOE. And we'll go back 10, 11 years. That takes us back during this cyclical, or not cyclical, but secular bull market that we've been in, secular bull market since 2013. Look at these 2 months. I mean, October and November. Look at the average returns down here. The 2 best months, November and October. Pretty high percentage that this stock goes up during these months. And then I'm seeing relative strength. And I'm seeing AD line strong. I'm seeing price action that remains solid. I mean, this is how you put a lot of things together and say, okay, CBOE, I don't know that I want to own it into earnings, but if we get any kind of a pullback, if we have a good report and we get an opportunity, maybe we get back down $10. I don't know. Maybe there's a divergence in play here. Yeah, I mean, we're breaking out now with a negative divergence. So maybe tomorrow we gap up, print a bearish engulfing candle, something like that. That could lead us to a 50-day test. But this would go on a watch list for me. And in fact, you could use the alerts at stock charts and just say, you know, if it crosses below 160, so that kind of give you some time to prepare for a 50-day test. But that would not be a bad use of the alerts. Do negative divergences work all the time? No, look at this. Higher prices. Look at this lower PPO. We did get a little bit below the 20, but we never hit the 50, never went back to the 0 line, and then we kept going higher. But most of the time, when we're moving up here, can't tell if we broke out above that or not. But clearly, when we tried to break out over here, much, much lower PPO. And then look what happened. Got that center line test, got the 50-day moving average. It happens.